So we interrupt your regularly scheduled program to show you this. Selena Gomez came out with Oreos. These are cinnamon cream Oreos. First things first, anytime there's branding on a name of something, I don't want this to be a critique of that person. I don't care if I like your music, like your personality, whatever. I'm just rating this food right here. Post Malone had a flavor that came out last year that I really liked, but this flavor really doesn't sound good at all to me, but I'm going to keep an open mind. They had a flavor Oreo called Love Oreos that came out many moons ago that was cinnamon flavored. I really didn't like them, so I don't have high expectations for these as well. But here they are. Any branding on here? Yeah, there's a little music note on these Selena Gomez's. I thought I would hate these. I don't necessarily love them. Oh, wait, there it is. I've rescinded that. At first, I was going to say the cinnamon isn't heavy enough that it tastes like Big Red, because the Love Oreos tasted like Big Red. They didn't at first, because you get this chocolate cinnamon cream on the inside, and then they have this cinnamon chocolate flavored cookie. So it's not just straight cinnamon, where Love Oreos, the original ones, were a chocolate cookie with a cinnamon cream through and through, and it tasted like chocolate and Big Red, and I really hated those. This isn't as bad. They do have this, like, it says condensed milk flavor, so I get where they were going with it. It almost tastes like horchata a little bit, and I don't mind that. I only have a slight hint of Big Red at the end. Ever so slight, but it's not as bad anywhere near as Love one, so I don't hate these. Personally, it's just not an Oreo that I would ever want to have again, but maybe someone will like these more than I do. I also think if you cook with these or mix them in something, they can work, but as an individual Oreo, for me, they're not that great. So on that scale, I'm going to give them a 5 out of 10. I think they're workable to make up to good, but they're also, as is, just very average in my opinion. But I'm surprised I don't hate these, which is a big step up. I have these here, which I figured I would love, and these are Biscoff, chocolate Biscoff, vanilla Biscoff. I love cookie butter. These look like sandwich cookies, but Biscoff, and I've never seen these before. The saddest part about this whole thing, I just bought 2 containers of almond milk, one for my house and one for my studio. I left them both in my fridge at home, so I don't have any milk, which is really taking away, because if I dip these in milk, I might spontaneously combust. I wish that these had the same vanilla or like Oreo cream that's a little bit more sweeter to go with this cookie butter, but it's still delicious. I just wish they were a little more cream on the inside, which will really set these off. I like them, but I need milk. That's taken away, but I'll still give them an 8 out of 10. Y'all have no idea how hard it was for me to balance this just to take this damn intro, but we got a bunch of ice cream that I just got from ShopRite, 3 new types of Ben & Jerry's, and I wanted to try these new Haagen-Dazs. So let's get into this video before they melt. So I have been documented saying multiple times that Haagen-Dazs is the gold standard, so I wanted to try this Dulce de Leche Churro ice cream bar. I've never had a lot of Haagen-Dazs, to be honest with you, but I had to do this. Okay, so it's got that candy outside, little crunch pieces, and the inside, don't know what kind of ice cream's in here, but we shall find out. They are the gold standard of ice cream. As far as frozen store ice cream, they just are. Let me break this down for you. The inside is actually cinnamon churro ice cream, and there's little bands of dulce de leche on the inside, as well as on the outside, that hard exterior. This is so good, man. I used to eat Haagen-Dazs ice cream, but never all these different types of ice cream bars. I've been missing out. It's delicious. 9.2. Ah, really good. Next up, we have the New York strawberry cheesecake, which is velvety cheesecake ice cream swirled with strawberry sauce, crunchy graham cracker crust pieces. It says silky sweet with a touch of tart. They are really the gold standard. Here you go. Same idea, same look. Let's see what it tastes like, though. Oh, wow. It really does taste like cheesecake, man. Gold standard. Gold standard, man. This is what it is. Obviously, when you're biting into ice cream at first, all I got was cold teeth. But the cheesecake ice cream tastes like a decent slice of cheesecake. Really does. And you got those bands again of this raspberry tartness. I said this in one of my recent videos, but the older I get, the more I appreciate raspberry. And what really brings it home, these pieces that are all in here, it's graham cracker. This tastes like a decent slice of cheesecake, but in ice cream form. The amount of I'm sorry's I owe to Haagen-Dazs, I wasn't familiar with your game. Not with this type of stuff. Y'all need more respect. I like the other one a little bit more, but this is the 9. Man, that's good. So now we're on to the Ben & Jerry's. These are called Ben & Jerry's Sundae. Apparently they're new. This is their Turtle Sundae. So it's buttery ice cream with fudge-covered almonds and pretzel swirls, topped with caramel swirled whipped topping and fudge-covered pretzel bites. I don't even know what I just said. That's way too much stuff going on. But one of the reasons I rock with Ben & Jerry, one of many reasons I rock with Ben & Jerry is because they load toppings into their ice cream, which I am big on when it comes to how I like my ice cream to go. Yep. I'll say this though. The buttery ice cream. Ooh, salt. A little salty. A little sweet. What am I getting? Almonds. Yeah. Fudge-covered almonds. Haven't had those in a while. Friendly's used to have a brand called Chocolate Almond Chip that had the same kind of almonds in here. Really underrated thing to put in ice cream. But the butterscotch might throw some people off. Or the caramel. I'm not one of those people. This isn't their goat flavor, but it's a good one. Man, I feel like the other one's got more potential in this. But still, solid 8. So it's time to satisfy my old man taste buds. What you are looking at right now is raspberry cheesecake. Cheesecake ice cream, raspberry swirls, graham pieces. Same idea as the Haagen-Dazs. White chocolate ganache and graham cracker crumble on the top, though. Oh, they weren't playing. That's like a hard cap on this thing. All right, let's try this out. I got a feeling about this. This one's more tart than the Haagen-Dazs one. It's like pie crust on the top. Legit. I gotta stop eating this. I can see people saying this is too sweet. I'm also not one of those people. I also like that the tartness is turned up. Though it's not as sweet as the Haagen-Dazs because of that. But I actually think the Haagen-Dazs is better. But I really like that top part. I just wish a little more sweetness on this. Even though the tartness is turned up. But I'll still give it an 8. And finally, Chocolate Cheesecake. Chocolate cheesecake ice cream, chocolate cookie swirls, fudge swirled whipped topping, sea salt fudge chunks. I just wondered, did they sit in a room and they're like, you know what we're gonna do? Let's just put mad chocolate in salt. Who thinks of these? They're like those chocolate pennies that used to come out. But this one, it just tastes like a chocolate sundae. Which, it is called Ben & Jerry's Sundae, but it's like a basic sundae, which I feel like they have more inventive stuff in this. This is, like, to me, just ultimately basic. It's just vanilla ice cream with a bunch of chocolate stuff in it. Overpowering chocolate syrup. Other people may like this more than me. I just feel like I like the Ben & Jerry's flavors that are kind of weird. I picked it, but it said new, so I said why not. I still like it. I just personally like, double chocolate brownie is my favorite Ben & Jerry's chocolate version. Not what I like. Because there's a ton of fudge brownie chunks in there. And this one, they're not in there. And I need those. I'd rather have that than these sea salt chunks. They don't hit the same. More brownie pieces for me. And I'd rather have a chocolate base. If you're doing chocolate, keep it all chocolate. That's just me. Either way, 6 out of 10. Which is probably one of the lower scores for Ben & Jerry's I have. Not because it tastes bad. Just because their bar is so high. I have ice cream on beard. That I feel as if these basic flavors just don't do them justice for how inventive and high quality some of their stuff is. That's too much ice cream for one person at one point. And I gotta go ride my bike now. But I hope y'all enjoyed. Gold standard. Gold standard. Either way, that's too much ice cream for one person at one point. And I gotta go ride my bike now. But I hope y'all enjoyed. Gold standard. Gold standard.